نعم.
وتذكر قولي لك بعد حين
وتذكر
قولتي لك بعد حين إذا حقا بها يوما عملت وإن أهملتها ونبذت نصحا وملت إلى حطاما قد جمعت لسوف تعد من ندم عليها وما تغني الندامة إن ندمت.
He says here in simple terms, فستذكرون ما أقول لكم وأفوض أمري إلى الله إن الله بصير بما تعملون. صح؟ فستذكرون ما أقول لكم وأفوض أمري إلى الله. You will one day you will understand what I'm trying to say to you, how important it is and how much it means. وتذكر قولتي لك بعد حين. My statement, it will touch you one day. إذا حقا بها يوما عملت. If you act upon my advice, it will one day, you will see what I mean and how real it is, and that it's not a joke, but I'm telling you what's good for you. وإن أهملت, if you forsake my advice, وَنَبَذْتَ نُصْحًا, and you toss my advice to the side, وَمِلْتَ, and then you turn towards إِلَى حُطَامٍ قَدْ جَمَعْتَ, you turn towards the dunya that you gathered and you brought together, فَسَوْفَ تَعَضُّ مِن نَدَمٍ عَلَيْهَا, that you're going to bite your finger like that, and you're going to regret it. وَمَا تُغْنِي النَّدَامَةَ إِن نَدِمْتَ, and that day, your regret is not going to benefit you. It's not going to benefit you. ولذلك الإمام الشافعي, he said, سيذكر قومي إذا جد جدهم وفي الليلة الظلماء يفتقد البدر. سيذكر قومي, الإمام الشافعي, he said, my people, they will recognize my value amongst them. إذا جد جدهم, they will recognize what type of person I am when I'm long gone and I'm no longer with you. You will realize what I used to be for you guys and what I meant to you guys. وفي الليلة الظلماء, and the night when it's pitch dark and there is no moon, the people realize the value of the moon. That's when they recognize it. يفتقد البدر. ولذلك the scholars, they used to say المعاصرة حرمان. The things that you have, you don't value it while you have it. You only value it when you, if you go to YouTube and you watch Sheikh Salih al-Fawzan, he mentioned this line of poetry about his teacher Muhammad ibn Ibrahim al-Shaykh, who rahimahullah, who said this. And Sheikh Fawzan just cries. And the same, Sheikh Albani rahimahullah did the same. He said to his students, سَيَذْكُرُ قَوْمِي إِذَا جَدَّ جِدُّهُمْ, my people will realize what I mean to them and what advices and sincerity and honesty that I had for them. وَفِي اللَّيْلَةِ الظَّلْمَاءِ يُفْتَقَدُ الْبَدْرُ, and the night in which the moon is gone, the people value the moon. That's when people realize it. نعم.
إذا أبصرت صحبك في سماء قد ارتفعوا عليك وقد سفلت فراجعها ودع عنك الهوينا فما بالبطء تدرك ما طلبت.
The Shaykh rahimahullah, he said, if you see your companions, you saw your companions, they are at high levels. They have achieved the Deen of Allah Azza wa Jalla. They've gained knowledge. They've gained righteous actions. They've passed you. قَدْ ارْتَفَعُوا, they went high station. وَقَدْ سَفُلْتَ, and you went down. You didn't gain what they reached. You now realized your peers have passed you. You see, فَرَاجِعْهَا وَدَعْ عَنْكَ الْهُوَيْنَا. Pay attention here. He's telling you this is a place of competition. And I remember, subhanAllah, whenever I read this, some thoughts come to my mind. I remember a boy who spent 9 years in prison for a crime that he committed in the UK. When he came out, he saw that all of his friends, they graduated, they took degrees, and they took everything. And they passed him. Achieved things in life. And so he did another crime so he could go back to prison. Because living outside for him was what? Everyone passed him. Everyone achieved. People got married, had children and everything. And he felt, this is not for me. The only world that I understand is which way? Which world? That's the place I want to be in. So this is the sad reality. Are you with me, brothers? That's what's going to happen to some people. Not go to prison, sorry. But I mean, people are going to pass you and it's going to hurt you. Take the advice now. Work hard for this religion. Exert your effort to learn the Deen of Allah Azza wa Jalla. How is it, brothers, that you learn money and how to finance? You know it in details. You know the intrinsic issues related to the dunya. And when you come to the salah, you do ruku' and your back is not even straight. You don't even know how to pray the salah. Something to be really sad about. Allah said about the disbelievers, يَعْلَمُونَ ظَاهِرًا مِنَ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَهُمْ عَنِ الْآخِرَةِ هُمْ غَافِلُونَ. They know the apparent issues of this dunya. They know the dunya. Hassan al-Basri, do you know what he said? He said that they know the dinar and the dirham before they even weigh it. They know the money when they see it from far. They're like, don't bring it to me. It's not real money. It's forged money, don't give it to me. I don't even need to touch it. I know it's not real money. That's how much they know the dunya. And when you see them pray, he said, Hassan al-Basri, they don't know how to do ruku' or sujood or even pray the salah properly. Are you with me, brothers? The person has to make sure that they know what they were brought into this world for. I said this to you guys before. Allah brought us in this world for two reasons. Only this is why we're here. Everything else around us needs to serve these two. The reason why we work is to get money, to eat, to do these two. What are the two? One is in Surah Al-Talaq, Allah mentions it. هو الذي خلق سبع سماوات الله الذي خلق سبع سماوات ومن الأرض مثلهن يتنزل الأمر بينهن لتعلموا أن الله على كل شيء قدير. Allah said, I created the seven heavens and what is inside it. I created the seven earths and what is inside it. I created all of that. Why? لتعلموا, so you have knowledge. أن الله على كل شيء قدير. That Allah has the ability over everything. Knowledge. Are you with me, brothers? And the second reason why you were created was وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ, which is amal salih. Tawheed. Amal salih. Beneficial knowledge. That's why you're in this universe today. This is why you're here. How is it that the dinar and the dirham, the penny and the pound, the dollar and the cent has become the primary reason for you in this world when it's not meant to be? Are we all together, brothers? The reason why you go to work in the morning, you get up, is for you to get rizq, to worship Allah, to learn His religion. نعم.
ولا تختل بمالك وله عنه فليس المال إلا ما علمت.
The Shaykh rahimahullah, he said, do not be busy with wealth. Turn away from it. The true wealth, the true money is what you know. That's what is yours. That's real wealth. And that's what the Prophet ﷺ used to ask Allah. He used to say, Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafi'a wa rizqan tayyiba wa amalan mutaqabbala. Look at this, how he connected them three, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. What was the first one he said? Allahumma inni as'aluka ish? Ilman nafi'an. Oh Allah, I ask you for beneficial knowledge. And then after that, wa rizqan tayyiban. Why have you put your dunya before the seeking knowledge of the religion? Even Nabi Muhammad didn't put it. So, oh Allah, I ask you for beneficial knowledge first. And then he said, oh Allah, I ask you for what? Ibn al-Qayyim said that the reason why he put beneficial knowledge first before rizq is because rizq cannot be attained without beneficial knowledge. How do you know what's halal from what's haram? How do you know what you can buy and what you can't buy? How do you know what you can sell and what you can't sell? Every day you guys are outside working and making money. Do you know the ahkam related to what you're buying and you're selling? Do you know the rulings regarding it? Are you with me, brothers? Umar radiallahu anhu, he said, مَنْ لَمْ يَتَعَلَّمْ أَحْكَامَ الْبَيْعِ. Whoever doesn't learn the rulings regarding transaction and buying and selling, وَقَعَ فِي الرِّبَى شَاءَ أَمْ أَبَى. He will fall into riba whether he likes it or not. Are you with me, brothers? So many of you guys are married. You have children. Do you know the ahkam related to marriage and the rights of the wife and what is for her and what isn't? Do you know what is your rights and what you are allowed to ask for? Because this person you're married to, are you oppressing them? Your children have rights on you. Do you know what the rights of the children are? In other words, every day we are going forward in doing things we have no knowledge for. We're not studying how to work around it. Are you with me, brothers? Many people, they come to me for consultation sessions and they ask me, what should I do in this situation? And before you did this, why didn't you ask the people of knowledge? Now we're looking for a solution out of the problem. But why didn't you come prior? Or at least if you didn't want to come to no one, then why didn't you learn the knowledge to protect yourself from this in the first place? Are we all together, brothers? The messenger chose, alayhi salatu wasalam, Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafi'an first. And that's very important, wallahi. Very, very important that you have knowledge and you gain knowledge. ولذلك الإمام البخاري, he chaptered in his Sahih Kitab al-Ilm, he called it باب العلم قبل القول والعمل. That knowledge precedes any action or speech. And then he brought the statement of Allah, فَعْلَمْ أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهُ وَاسْتَغْفِرْ لِذَنْبِكَ. فَعْلَمْ, have knowledge first. Are we all together, brothers? It's very important, wallahi. What was the first 6 verses that came down in the Quran? Yeah? Let's ponder here. Allah mentioned the word Iqra. Are we all together? The first thing that came down in the Quran, the first 6 verses that came down is Iqra, read, learn knowledge, beneficial knowledge. Did you implement that when it comes to the Deen of Allah? Have you read about the Deen of Allah Azza wa Jalla? First command. It's a religion that endorses and pushes us and urges us to seek knowledge and gain knowledge. How many times did Allah repeat the concept of knowledge in those 6 verses? Multiple times. Let's count it together. Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. And then Allah says, Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. Ibn al-Qayyim said the relationship between reading and the human being that's how close it is, as it's in that verse. Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. Allah created you, attain knowledge. Well, there's many fawaid. I wrote over 40 benefits just from those 6 verses, which I'm going to share when I come to it, inshallah ta'ala, in the tafsir of Surah Alaq. Like Allah says, Iqra. What was the first thing that you were told to read? Bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. Ilmun nafi'. Al-ilmu al-shar'i, the knowledge of the deen. Hey, what knowledge did you go out and seek first? And you went to seek? Degree. You went to university to learn academic science. There's nothing wrong with that, but which was the first one you were told to learn? Yeah? The knowledge of Allah. The knowledge of Allah's deen, subhanahu wa ta'ala, your Lord, Allah Azza wa Jalla, sah? Why did Allah say, Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq? Khalq and Iqra, why was it mentioned together? Because the essence of the human being, when he first comes out into this world, is that he is ignorant and he is oppressive. Those are 2 attributes that are in us. Because Allah said in the ayah, إِنَّا عَرَضْنَا الْأَمَانَةَ عَلَى السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَالْجِبَالَ فَأَبَيْنَ أَن يَحْمِلْنَهَا وَأَشْفَقْنَ مِنْهَا وَحَمَلَهَا الْإِنسَانُ إِنَّهُ كَانَ ظَلُومًا جَهُولًا. ظَلُومًا جَهُولًا. The human, by default, when he comes out, he doesn't have knowledge. He's ignorant and he's oppressive. وَلِذَلِكَ the one who leaves himself in the state that Allah created, the way he was originally, he's going to always be ignorant and he's always going to be oppressive to other people. The more he gains knowledge of the religion and the more he attains in the deen, the more ignorant goes and the more oppression goes from him. That's why Iqra was mentioned. وَاللَّهُ أَخْرَجَكُم مِّن بُطُونِ أُمَّهَاتِكُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ شَيْئًا. Allah brought you out of the wombs of your mothers not knowing nothing. We didn't know anything. Allah says, Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. 2 things Allah mentioned. Are you with me, brothers? It's so important how Allah is emphasizing the concept of ilm. Read. And the Quran mentioned the 2 most important things that the person needs to do. And this is where academics, courses I've taken in university and I've studied, they speak about, which is receptive skills and the productive skills. In order to attain knowledge of anything, you have to have the ability to receive the knowledge. And then you have to be able to what? To produce the knowledge, right? True or false? The Prophet, Allah mentioned it in those 6 verses. How? Iqra is a receptive skills. When you read, it goes in. And then qalam is to produce it. The qalam is the pen. You have to write the knowledge that you've read, what you've taken in. You now produce it, you bring it out. And those are the 4 skills that fall under those 2. Speaking and writing are called the productive skills. Reading and listening are called the receptive skills, is when the person takes that information in. Those 2, the last 2 that I mentioned, which is reading and listening, 99.9% of the people in the world, they will say to you, I don't speak Arabic or I don't know this language, but I understand what the person is saying. True or false? But then talk. He lacks the production side. He can't produce the language, but he understands it. His receptive skill is good, but his productive skills is weak. Are you with me, brothers, here? Those 6 verses that came down in the Quran teaches us our religion is not about blind following, as some may make it look like. Islam is just follow. If you don't follow, you're going to go to Jahannam. It's not just like that. Our religion already knows that the ilm and the mind and the aql and the Quran and the Sunnah will never go against each other. They're compatible. Because the one who created you, اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق, and the thing that you're going to read, which is the revelation, both of them go hand in hand. So brothers, study the deen. Learn. Wallahi, you will find your prosperity and your good in it. Na'am.
وليس لجاهل في الناس مغن ولو ملك العراق له تأتى.
The ignorant one, even if he's given mulkul Iraq, he's the king of Iraq, he's the leader of a country, he has no benefits. There's no meaning to him. The jahil, the ignorant one. Look how, brothers, the jahil and the ignorant one, even if he takes the kingdom of Iraq or he's the leader of a country, if he's jahil, he has no meaning, no value to him. And he takes over buildings and constructions. Yeah? Sah? Sah? Yeah.
سينطق عنك علمك في ملاء ويكتب عنك يوما إن كتمت.
سينطق عنك علمك في ملاء. Some of the copies say ملاء. Your knowledge will speak for you. Your knowledge will speak for you. ويكتب عنك يوما إن كتمت. And what you said will be written, to be documented. Everything. نعم.
وما يغنيك تشييد المباني إلا بالجهل نفسك إذا بالجهل نفسك قد هدمت.
It won't benefit you that you have some people are ignorant, right? But they still have money and they have leadership, for example. So just because you put yourself in a nice building and you constructed yourself around something amazing and you have people around you and everything, he said, وَمَا يُغْنِيكَ تَشْيِيدُ الْمَبَانِي. These big fortresses that are around you will not suffice you if you have destroyed the fortresses of knowledge and it's not with you. What is it going to benefit you? The outer appearance that you have, but in reality you yourself know that you know nothing. You know nothing. So وَمَا يُغْنِيكَ, it doesn't benefit you. تَشْيِيدُ الْمَبَانِي, these big constructions and these buildings that you're placing around yourself. إِذَا بِالْجَهْلِ نَفْسَكَ قَدْ هَدَمْتَ. If you've destroyed yourself, your construction, if you destroyed it with ignorance, what benefit does it hold you? No.
جعلت المال فوق العلم جهلا لعمرك في القضية ما عدلت وبينهما بنص الوحي بون ستعلمه إذا طه قرأت.
He said, جعلت المال فوق العلم جهلا. You made wealth take a higher station than knowledge. Look what you did. Look what you did. You took dunya and money, dinar and dirham, and you gave it more weight than the knowledge of the religion. That's what you did. لعمرك, and he said, by Allah, في القضية ما عدلت. You were not just in the situation. You didn't judge this situation in a fair way. You didn't do that. وَبَيْنَهُمَا بِنَصِّ الْوَحْيِ بَوْنٌ. And based on the Quran and the Sunnah, there is a big difference between the two. And then he said, سَتَعْلَمُهُ. You will know what I'm trying to say to you. إِذَا طَاهَ قَرَأْتَ. If you read Surah Taha, the ayah, وَقُلْ رَبِّ زِدْنِي عِلْمًا. If you read that verse, you'll know what I'm saying. Surah Taha, ayah 114, right? وَقُلْ رَبِّ زِدْنِي عِلْمًا. When you read that verse, you'll know what I... So what does he mean that this verse shows that the money is more than the ilm? Sorry, the ilm is more than the money. How does that verse show it? Huh? Jameel. Sahih, Abu Zakaria got it right. Which is that the messenger was never told in anywhere in the Quran for him to ask Allah to increase him in wealth or in dunya. He wasn't told. But he was told to ask Allah to increase him in knowledge. وَقُلْ رَبِّ زِدْنِي عِلْمًا. Oh Allah, increase me in knowledge. It was said to him, قُلْ, say Muhammad, oh Allah, increase me in knowledge. But never was he told to ask Allah to increase him in children or money or anything related to the dunya. He was never told to ask Allah to increase him in it. Okay? Like in knowledge of the deen, I was told to ask Allah to increase him in it. And that shows you the reason is because knowledge is what you want to increase yourself with. Now.
لئن رفع الغني لواء مال لأنت لواء علمك قد رفعت.
He said, if the rich man, لئن رفع الغني لواء مال, there's a rich man but he's jahil, he's ignorant but he's got money. He made himself, he got a flag and he stuck out the flag and he made himself popular through his money. He made himself look big because of his money and the good cars that he drives. He said, لَأَنْتَ لِوَاءَ عِلْمِي قَدْ رَفَعْتَ. Don't worry, the thing that has risen you and that's taken you high up is knowledge, not money. This is important. Why did he say this? There are 40 that I've noted down for you all, inshallah ta'ala. 40 virtues that knowledge has over wealth. The person who's got knowledge is more virtuous than the one who has wealth. Are you with me, brothers? Let me mention some of them, inshallah ta'ala. If you want to know the 40, then who do you go to? Where do you guys think you will find it? Yeah, Miftahu Dar al-Sa'ada by Ibn al-Qayyim. Miftahu Dar al-Sa'ada, buy that book. That book is gold. You know that book, Miftahu Dar al-Sa'ada? It mentions 153 virtues for knowledge. How many? 100 and what? 53. Each one, how many volumes is that book? 3 volumes. 3 thick volumes like this. He divided the book into 2. The first portion of the book, he talks about the virtues of knowledge and he brings 153 virtues of knowledge. The second part of the book, he talks about having aspiration. Ibn al-Qayyim believes and he proves in that book that anyone who wants to get to Allah, anyone who wants to reach Allah Azza wa Jalla, he has to have علم يبصره ويهديه وهمة ترقيه. He has to have aspiration that uplift him and then the knowledge and the insight to go forward. And those two, if you really ponder, those two that I just mentioned, aspiration, the want to do something, the desire to wanting to do something, and the knowledge of how to do it, those two are only found in the Muslims. The other two groups who are referred to as Ahlul Kitab, the Christians and the Jews, they lack one of the two. The Jews, they had the knowledge to guide them. But did they have the aspiration and the drive to want to execute it and do it? No. What about the Christians? They had the aspiration and the drive, and they are, you see how they cry and they get emotional. Like in what they don't, what is it that they don't have? They haven't got the knowledge. They don't have the insight. That's why we say, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم. Who's the مغضوب عليهم? The Jews. The Prophet said it. ولا الضالين is the Nasara. We said, oh Allah, we don't want those two people's paths. Why don't we want those two people's paths? Because they haven't combined between beneficial knowledge and righteous actions. صح? Oh Allah, we want beneficial knowledge and righteous action. Does that make sense, brothers? So Ibn al-Qayyim, he authored the Kitab Miftahu Dar al-Sa'ada to first speak about the knowledge side, how to gain that knowledge, and he wants to make you desire to want to learn. And then when he finishes that 153 virtues of knowledge, he goes into the issue of aspiration, irada, having a want. Because look, brothers, just because you have knowledge of something doesn't mean you're going to necessarily do it. And just because you want to do something doesn't necessarily mean that you can do it just because you want to do it. You have to have the knowledge to do it. Huh? Are you with me, brothers? Huh? Those two are what can make a person make something happen. Knowledge and the want to do it. Isn't that not true? That's what Allah Ta'ala said about Himself. Allah can create. And Allah said, I have knowledge to create and I have the ability to create. Are you with me, brothers? So there's 40 differences Ibn al-Qayyim mentions between money and what? And knowledge. When you read that, wallahi, your heart is going to blow. You're not going to then, from then onwards, your heart is not going to be connected to dinar and dirham. Let me mention some of them. Knowledge is the inheritance of the prophets. This knowledge that we're studying today, ilmun nafi', the knowledge of the sharia, is the inheritance of the prophets. And wealth is the inheritance of the leaders and the ministers. That is inherited from the rich people. Lakin, our prophets inherited their wealth? No. The Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith, نحن معاشر الأنبياء لا نورث ما تركناه صدقة. Nabi Muhammad, when he died, did his daughter Fatima, did she inherit from him? Yeah? No. Wealth, the Prophet ﷺ, all of his, whatever he had, it was little anyways, it was given out as sadaqah. If money was valuable, the messenger would have given his daughter wealth. Radiyallahu ta'ala anha. Sah? When Allah said in the ayah, وَوَرِثَ سُلَيْمَانُ دَاوُدَ, Sulaiman inherited from Dawood. What did he inherit from him? Beneficial knowledge. Are we all together? Nabiullah Zakaria, when he said, oh Allah, give me a child, يَرِثُنِي وَيَرِثُ مِنْ آلِ يَعْقُوبَ وَجَعَلُ رَبِّي رَضِيًّا. Sah? What is it that Zakaria wants for his son Yahya to inherit from him? Beneficial knowledge. So remember this. Prophets, what is inherited from them is what? Beneficial knowledge. The money is inherited from the people of the dunya and ru'asa and whatnot. Are we all together, brothers? Vital. This is a very strong issue. وَلِذَلِكَ Abu Hurairah went to the market one day. Saw the people running around and buying and selling and trying to. He said, oh people, the Prophet's inheritance is being given in the masjid. Go and get it. So the people came, they looked at it, they went inside the masjid, they saw nothing, just a halaqah over there and a halaqah over there and a halaqah over there. And then they said, we didn't see no inheritance of the Prophet ﷺ being given out in the masjid. And then he told them, no, what you just saw there was the inheritance of the Prophet. Are you with me, brothers? If your father died and he passed away and he left so much money behind, would you be missing from that gathering where his inheritance is being given? Would you miss it? Yeah? Will you miss it? Your father died, he left good money behind. Would you miss that majlis where the family are now going to divide the wealth of your father? Will you miss that gathering? Why is it that you miss the gatherings where the Prophet's inheritance is being given? That will give you success of this world and hereafter. That's the first. The second one is knowledge protects the person. Lakin money needs you to protect it. Knowledge protects you from fitan, from shubuhat, shahawat. Like in wealth, it requires for you to protect it. Number 3, knowledge increases by giving it. Like in wealth, by giving it, it reduces and it decreases. Number 4, knowledge governs wealth. How did you get money in the first place? You had to have knowledge and then they'll give you the job, right? So knowledge governs wealth. Wealth doesn't govern money, knowledge. It doesn't. Many people who didn't have no money were able to go and seek knowledge. True or false? No. Like a person who has no knowledge cannot make money. The scholar the people, and the rulers, and everyone needs him. The leader, the people who are ruled, they all need the scholar. They're in need of the scholar. They're hungry for him. Like in the scholar, the person of wealth, the person of wealth, he requires and he needs the people. He needs people around him. If he doesn't have a bodyguard, he's in trouble. He needs people around him. A scholar will be in a room all day by himself, no one with him, no one talking to him, no one with him, by himself. Number 6. The possessor of wealth, if he dies, his wealth will be taken away from him. No money goes with him in his grave. Like in the person of knowledge, his knowledge goes with him to the hereafter. He will read the Quran to go to a level higher in Jannah and another place. Higher. It took him to Jannah. And it's then taking him in a high place in Jannah. What about all the money that you've been running after? Where's it gone? It left you. Your children are fighting over it after your death. Killing one another for it. That's the reality. Number 7. Wealth is given to the believer and the non-Muslim. It's given to the Muslim and the non-Muslim. It is given to the transgressor and it's given to the one that's not a righteous one. Like in beneficial knowledge is only given to the righteous one. Beneficial knowledge is only given to the righteous individual. The mu'min is the only one that's given beneficial knowledge. Number 8. Knowledge gives long-lasting happiness and purity to the heart. And wealth gives you a short-term happiness, if anything. The love of knowledge and the seeking of knowledge is the foundation of all of obedience. All obedience. Aslu ta'a, the foundation of obedience, goes back to seeking knowledge and running after knowledge of the religion. And the foundation of the evil is running after the dunya and wealth. We all know the famous hadith, right? The Prophet said, مَا ذِئْبَانِ جَائِعَانِ أُرْسِلَا عَلَى غَنَمٍ بِأَفْسَدَ لَهُمَا. The Prophet said, 2 wolves, hungry. These wolves haven't been given food for days or weeks maybe. And they are starving, hungry. And then these 2 wolves are released in a herd of sheep. What are they going to do to the sheep? When they destroy it. The messenger said that Hirsul Mar'i, the person running after a chair, leadership, and running after money is more dangerous for the person's religion, the way he eats through it, than those 2 wolves, the way they eat through the sheep. Destroys it. The wealth, number 10, the wealth, it calls the person to transgression and disobedience. Knowledge calls you to humility and humbleness, the beneficial knowledge. And there's many, many more, inshallah ta'ala. Tomorrow we're going to carry on the remaining. We haven't gone in. And inshallah we'll finish tomorrow, bi'idhnillahi al-kareem. Bring this book and also bring the other book, inshallah. So when we finish this one, we can start the other kitab, which is Urjuzatul Mi'iyya, inshallah ta'ala. So the other book should be brought for tomorrow for the students. And this one, inshallah ta'ala, we'll finish it off as well tomorrow, bi'idhnillahi al-kareem. Anything which I have said that was wrong or incorrect is from me, shaitan, and Allah and His Messenger are free from it. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.